What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Nicey Chunga Benny, and I'm here with my co-host, Greg King.
What's good, everybody?
And you're listening to the Ball Fake Podcast. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, it helps us get our name out there just a little bit more. So make sure y'all do that. Also, follow our social media pages. We have a Facebook and Instagram, and now we're available on TikTok. It's all called the Ball Fake Podcast on there. So make sure y'all get in tune with that. But as you can see by the title today, we're going to talk about the NBA draft, some of the top prospects in this year's draft, and some under the radar guys that you may have forgotten about this season. But first and foremost, I'm going to get into LaMelo Ball. He's a streaky shooter out of Chino Hills, California. You know, the kid put up 17 points per game overseas, 6.8 assists, and was able to grab 7.6 rebounds. You know, he's more of a bigger guard. And it's kind of funny seeing that because, you know, coming in, bursting onto the scene, he was so little. Dude looked like he was about 5'8", 5'9".
He grew out of nowhere.
Yeah,
bro.
so it was pretty cool to see that. But
he's definitely a player that needs the ball in his hand. So if
Right.
you guys do not know who LaMelo Ball is, he needs the ball in his hand. He is really a true point guard who really facilitates and scores.
Yeah, he also is able to play off the ball just a little bit. So any team looking for that, I mean, he would be one of the guys that you would look at. But LaMelo Ball, he's a streaky shooter. This past season, he only shot 37% from the field, from 3-point range, 25%. I'd like to see those numbers go up, and on 7 attempts per game. But his 2-point percentage wasn't too bad, 45%. I would like to see him get to the free throw line just a little bit more. Make sure he's forcing the contact and stuff going away at the basket. That's one thing that he really needs to, improve on at the next level. But really, I really do believe that LaMelo Ball is a decent, if not great shooter. He's going to be streaky because, he kind of has an awkward shooting form. His releases, he has a high release, but it's something about his elbows. He's kind of tweaked it over the years, but
I don't think he's going to change the jump shot. I think it's the same. I think he's going to keep it the same.
I think he'll tweak it a little bit. He kind of do what Lonzo did.
Exactly.
Tweak it each and every year.
Because you need a fast release in the NBA, man.
Yeah, but one of LaMelo's biggest knocks, honestly, in my opinion, is his shot selection. Like I said, he's a great shooter, but a lot of times he'll take some questionable shots that kind of have you scratching your head. That's a key reason why his field goal percentage is lower than what it should be. I mean, I know LaMelo Ball, he's way better than 25% from distance. The kid's got NBA range. He just needs to know when to pick and choose to shoot them deep jumpers rather than just pulling up from the half-court line early in the shot clock. That's going to be unacceptable in the league.
And he also lacks on defense end too. So he needs to work on his lateral quickness and all that too.
Yeah, he plays half-heartedly on the defensive end of the basketball. Honestly, I don't know why, but I mean, I guess maybe just because he's just so offensively talented that he wants to conserve his energy on that end. But LaMelo Ball, he has a great handle in traffic, and he'll benefit at the next level since the NBA is a ball-happy league. Like I stated earlier, though, he's not the greatest finisher at the rim. He has a nice floater game that he's added this past season, and he's able to show that he can, bring it out 10 to 15 feet away. It doesn't matter to him. But, LaMelo Ball, he needs to improve defensively. Like I said, he lacks passion on that end of the floor. But with him growing to be 6'7", and, he's a little bit lengthier for his size and position, he's going to be able to guard positions 1 through 3, Like I said, that would be a really key. It would be a really good aspect for him to, get control of. But I think Melo's best aspect of his game is his passing ability.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's somebody who he obviously loves the flashy pass, but if you're open, especially in transition, that's when you're gonna, be able to shine, because LaMelo Ball, he's definitely gonna reward his bigs and anybody who runs out on the break with him.
Especially in the pick and roll situation. With the NBA being a lot of pick and roll, he's gonna be great coming off the screen on the pick and roll.
But yeah, like I said, sometimes he can be a little flashy to a fault. I'd like to see him improve on his decision making in the future, but with time and experience, he'll get better at that.
So what team should he land? Because I'm seeing that he might slip in the draft because of the interviews. And do you think interviews matter? So what do you think about that?
I think the interviews, they just do interviews in order to get a better feel for the player, see what type of person he is off the court, on the court. But I don't know if this is a marketing scheme from LeVar and his team, but because he stated how he wanted him to go play for either the Detroit Pistons or the New York Knicks. Honestly, I wouldn't like to see Melo at either spot. I think he fits best in Phoenix or Chicago. Phoenix, for one, they're 15th in offensive efficiency. He wouldn't have to, play right away. He could play behind Ricky Rubio, and that would help him develop into a better player because, he doesn't have all that pressure on him. And he also would be able to play off ball with Devin Booker and those guys. So Phoenix is a good spot. In Chicago, they drafted such good talent around them, young talent at that. Guys who, are big, athletic, and he would just fit right in perfectly,
Yeah, I would agree. Especially in Chicago, that lineup would be scary. Him, Kobe White, Laurie Marketing, Zach LaVine, Wendell Carter. Scary.
Yeah, but Phoenix and Chicago, I think those are the two best spots for LaMelo Ball. But moving on, the next prospect we're going to get into is Anthony Edwards, big guard out of Georgia, drawing comparisons to Donovan Mitchell, Victor Oladipo. He's a 6'4" combo guard with elite athleticism, shows a good feel for the game, and, he's really competitive on either side of the floor. One of his key aspects of his game that I really enjoy is I like his combination moves, like his in and out. That's one of his go-to moves, and he's shown that he's not afraid to pull up off coming out of that combo. But he gets downhill with dribble drives and showcases great ball handling skills.
Great finishing ability too with his size. Like he can bully inside. He's not gonna be afraid to go up on a 6'11" center or a power forward, anybody. He gonna be able to finish through tough contact. So I think that's a difference maker for a guy that's a combo guard.
Right, and he's actually somebody who he could play either position, point guard, shooting guard, doesn't matter. Maybe a little bit of three. He might be undersized at that position, but he's got an NBA body, so you never know. He could also continue to grow. But
do you think he's a natural scorer, or does he need the ball in his hands, depending on what team he goes to?
He's more of a natural scorer, but he's got the thing about Anthony Edwards is he just has such a great feel for the game of basketball. You can tell this is somebody who's played at a very young age and has progressed each and every year at each and every level. So one of his biggest knocks, though, is Anthony Edwards, he's just not a winner. We'd like to see that change, especially if you're going to be our franchise guy. So, Minnesota, they're looking at him for number one, but we really don't know because, they may trade that pick to possibly Philadelphia. I don't know if the Suns want to get Devin Booker involved in the trade, but we won't know about that. But, let's say Minnesota does draft him. I can see him fitting perfectly with Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. He's going to be somebody who be able to play right away and have an immediate impact just because, he has the tools and such a great feel for the game. But he needs to do a better job of reading double teams and, just making better decisions when it comes to just getting your teammates open and not taking, hero shots. But and just limiting your turnovers as well. Like I said, he's a young player. I think he still may be 18 years old. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 18, 19. But you have to remember, though, when he was at Georgia, he was the man. So he had to create a lot of offense for Georgia. So those turnovers, those IQ, those plays that he struggled at in his game, I think that all get fixed once he won't have the ball in his hands on Minnesota or any team that he goes to. So he won't be the main focus. So I think he will improve on his game in that aspect.
Right. And I think one more thing that he also needs to improve on offensively wise is, just coming off screens, looking for a shot, being ready to shoot, catch and shoot, just things like that. He's not a terrible shooter. I think from this season he shot around 30 to 35% from three, maybe.
That's not bad.
I think it was 30%.
That's not bad, but it can improve.
Yeah, but like I said, experience and time, and just extra hours in the gym. Look out for Anthony Edwards this upcoming season. But another guy, under the radar guy, not really under a radar guy anymore. Last year, he put his name in the draft, didn't really get the results that he was looking for, so, he went back to school. Obi Toppin out of University of Dayton. He's a 20 points per game scorer, 7.5 rebounds a game, and gives you 63% field goal percentage. He was the best player in the Atlantic 10 Conference last year, AP Player of the Year, led Dayton to a 26-2 record. And this guy, he's shown that he's very versatile. He shot 70% from two-point range, which is phenomenal, and 39% from three. So this is somebody you know
Demon.
you can interchange him at the NBA level. He could play the 4. He's kind of he could play the 3, the 4, possibly the 5.
I don't think the 5 unless they play small ball lineup, depending on what team he goes to. But yeah,
right, because you know we've seen that a lot in the league these days. So because he's only listed at 6'9", 220 pounds, I'd like to see him put on.
But
a
he's
little
so
bit more
versatile
weight.
and nicely. Like he can do so much. He can bang inside. He can go to he can control on the perimeter too. But how do you think about his ball handling? Like, do you think he can really control the perimeter, like handle the ball out there in pick and roll situations?
I think he's a good ball handler for his position and size, definitely. But whenever he's pressured on the perimeter, sometimes he isn't the best decision maker, which is okay. You know, that's not necessarily his role to make plays on the perimeter and everything. You make your money inside, but he's drawn comparisons to Kyle Kuzma, John Collins, Amari Stoudemire even. I really like the Amari Stoudemire comparison just because those two guys, they have the same build, you know, kind of the same game. I think he's more so like Kuzma on the perimeter, a little bit like Amari Stoudemire in the half court set, and in transition he really looks like John Collins.
Oh yeah, he's crazy in transition. We saw
explosive.
a lot of high flying dunks this year. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, he's best in transition, and like I said, he's an efficient and great shooting potential. He can space the floor, like I said, versatile. You know, just the perfect stretch 4, stretch 3. You know, anything like that. But
so where do you think he fits?
They have him projected to go 4th. I believe the Chicago Bulls have that pick. I would love to see him playing with, you know, Zach LaVine, Wendell Carter Jr., Larry Markkinen. That would be a crazy lineup, and they'd be a pretty big lineup as well. But on some things that he needs to improve on is his lateral quickness. You know, last season he wasn't able to, you know what I'm saying, stay in front of the ball too much. His lateral quickness is very slow, and sometimes him being such a decent defender, like someone who's really athletic, he tends to, you know what I'm saying, bite on pump fakes a lot, so he tries to swipe down and block everybody's shot whenever he doesn't need to. Sometimes you just need to go up and show your verticality. But like I said, also his poor decision making when pressured. I mean, that's something that he'll improve on. His ball handling skills will get a little bit better, and you know, hopefully his decision making will improve as well. But Obi Toppin, that's a guy who's gonna have a big role coming out of Dayton, and whenever team chooses him, he's gonna be able to play right away and have an immediate impact.
I agree.
So look out for Obi Toppin this upcoming NBA season. But another guy that people may have forgotten about is Myles Powell, the senior, 21 points per game scorer out of Seton Hall.
Bucket getter.
Big guard. You know what I'm saying? He kind of reminds me of Dion Waiters just a little bit. A microwave scorer, can heat it up in a hurry, but also can shoot you out of it at times. But he's excellent at just shot creation. You know what I'm saying? His go-to moves are the hesitation. He has a variety of crossovers, moves, and things that he can offset defenders with. But one of his best aspects of his game is the fact that he has NBA range. This is a kid that can really shoot the shit out of the ball. His percentages don't always show it. You know, he only shot 30% from the three-point line last year on 9 attempts a game. That's something that it'll improve, especially because, you know, he won't necessarily be the
guy,
the center point of, you know what I'm saying, defensive schemes and everything.
Yep.
But his scoring ability, that's something that's going to translate to the league off rip. I mean, like I said, he's a microwave scorer, somebody who can fill it up immediately, doesn't care who's out there guarding him. At times he can, you know what I'm saying, shoot a little bit too much. I like to see him improve on getting his teammates involved. He only averaged 2.2 assists last season, and I think for his career at Seton Hall, maybe it was something like around 2.4, 2.5.
So are you calling him a ball hog?
No, he's not a ball hog, but I would just like to see him try to get his teammates involved a little bit more. He's more of a two guard, really, kind of undersized.
He's a true shooting guard. He's literally a true shooting guard,
right?
Which is rare, bro. We haven't seen a lot of true shooting guards, you know, since D Wade or since D Wade's on.
Mm-hmm. And I think he has a little bit of Nick Young in him. You know what I'm saying? He kind of has a swagger about himself. But when it comes to his build and just how he plays, his demeanor and everything, definitely a Dion Waiters comes to mind. But yeah, Myles Powell, he's projected to go late first round. Honestly, this is somebody I can see in the future that could be not a superstar, but you know what I'm saying, somewhat of a star.
Mid-tier all-star, maybe?
Not all-star. I'm not going to go that far because I don't think that he has the offensive skill set just yet to, you know what I'm saying, take teams over the hump and everything like that. That's more of what an all-star caliber player does. But I mean, he could at best be a borderline all-star, somebody who can get snubbed once or twice. But yeah, Myles Powell, he's a great player. Any team looking for in need for scoring,
pick him up.
Yeah, I would definitely look for him, and he could be somebody who could really benefit coming off the bench. He could be your vocal point of your second unit. So yeah, Myles Powell out of Seton Hall. Look out for him this upcoming season as well. But the last guy I'm going to cover, James Wiseman, first 7-footer and to be ranked number 1 in his class out of Tennessee. You know, he's a double-double machine, 19.7 points per game, 10.7 rebounds per game, and 3 blocks a game. You know, shot 77% from the field, 70% from the free throw line. Not bad for a 7-footer. You know, he's going to be a nightmare on the defensive end because, you know, he's such a great rim protector. He has a natural shot blocking instinct. So on the defensive end, he's definitely going to remind you a little bit of you know, Jared Allen, Anthony Davis type of player. But his shot blocking ability causes him to bite on pump fakes a lot too. You know, something that I also said about Obi Toppin earlier. He can be undisciplined defensively at times. Like I said, doesn't know when to, you know what I'm saying, just jump vertically.
Yeah, I feel like he's always jumpy, trying to go for the block every single time.
Which is okay, but you just have to know when and not to, you know what I'm saying,
do it.
Go for a block.
Exactly.
But like I said, he's long and lengthy. He has a wingspan of 7'6". His length allows him to be a lob threat on the offensive end. He kind of looks like DeAndre Jordan, especially in the pick and roll. You know, he's somebody who can just throw it up. He's going to be able to go get it. But offensively, Wiseman also has a nice footwork in the post and a decent touch on his jumper. Like I said, pick and roll finisher, and he uses his inside pivots to create space and shoot over the top of defenders. He's most comfortable facing up. You know, he's kind of one of those players who looks to be a stretch forward, but he really makes his money inside, banging in the post. But speaking of banging in the post, that's something I would like to see him do more. You know, he already has an NBA body, if not more than that, but he kind of shies away of being physical at times. You know, we'd like to see him be more of a threat when it comes to using his physicality and everything.
Yeah, I think if he grows into his body, puts some more weight on, I don't think he'd be having a problem down there inside. But I also think he should develop a pick and pop game, especially if the Warriors are looking at him. If he can get in that pick and pop role with Steph or Clay, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, and he's definitely a capable shooter, somebody who, you know, you could definitely run a pick and pop.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just a 15 shot. We're not talking about 3-pointers either. Just an easy mid range, man.
Especially the three-point shot, him developing that's gonna really set him apart from other bigs.
Yeah.
But James Wiseman, he's also capable of beating slower bigs off the bounce. You know, not too many bigs in this league are very laterally quick. You know, so him showcasing that ability is going to help him get to the free throw line, and hopefully we can see his percentages bump from 70 to something maybe like 75, 76, 74%. But he's got great size, but doesn't always use his physicality. Oh my God, I can't talk. To the best of his ability, but he's capable of switching on the guards off ball screens, but will struggle at times due to his lack of fundamentals. This is somebody who isn't the quickest player, which we don't expect him to be. He's a 7-footer. They're not always the quickest on their feet.
Exactly.
But all of these flaws that he has, which aren't too many,
are fixable.
They're all fixable.
And the ceiling's so high for him just because he's a big man, and everybody needs bigs. I think this league is going back to the big man, bro. Think about all the bigs in this league that dominated this year, man.
Right, and I think his ceiling is more of a, a Joel Embiid. He's been compared to guys like DeAndre Jordan, but he's got a little bit more of a higher ceiling than that, obviously.
Yeah, I think Joel Embiid is perfect.
Yeah, but James Wiseman, he could possibly be the number 2 pick. Number 1, I actually saw that some people think that he may have an opportunity to go number 1, which is just crazy to me. How could he pair up with Karl Anthony Towns? I mean, defensively they'd be crazy, but
offensively it would be too crowded.
Yeah, not enough room on the blocks. But James Wiseman out of Memphis, Tennessee. Look out for him.
And I'm gonna deep dive now into some international prospects, and I have Nicey Chip in here. First guy is Kellen Hayes. He's a 6'5", 190-pound point guard. He played in the BBL overseas. His comparisons to James Harden and D'Lo. His stats were 11 points per game, 5 assists, 48% from the field goal, 29% from the 3-point line. His strengths are really in the half-court offense. Pick and roll passer. He has great IQ. He has great handle, great mid-range game. He's great in transition. He has a great floater game. He's just a very good traditional point guard. He can set up the team. He's going to set up the offense. And I think that's important for the NBA because everything is pick and roll, not a lot of sets. So I think if
pick
he
and
can,
roll in isolation.
yeah, isolation, and he's a lefty too, so he has drawn to comparison to James Harden because he has that step back down. He has great very handle with the ball.
Do they really have like the same type of demeanor though? Because I really haven't heard much from this guy.
Not the same demeanor. Now he's not gonna be like 30 points like Harden, but he can definitely has the moves like Harden. I don't think he'll ever be that 30-point scorer, but I think he could be that 15 to 20-point scorer who's a great facilitator in the league.
Where is he projected to land?
Top 10. So
top 10?
5 through 10.
Okay.
He's shooting up the draft boards right now, but his weaknesses are not using his right hand. He's very left hand dominant, and sometimes when he comes off the pick and roll, he'll cross back over to his left hand and then turn the ball over. So, and he needs, other than developing right hand, his turnovers in the half court set concerns me just because his decision making is kind of iffy. Sometimes if they put a lot of pressure on him, he's gonna turn the ball over. He doesn't really see plays through. So Killian Hayes is a great guard. He'll probably get drafted before Cole Anthony, which a lot of people would say Cole Anthony's better than this kid. But if I'm looking at a lot of film that I've seen on both of those guys, Killian, since he's played overseas, has a lot more experience against grown men, and I think he will work better in the NBA than Cole Anthony.
I think so. A lot of people say Cole Anthony's underrated. He's one of those weird prospects. I really don't know because it's like, okay, we saw in high school that you're just really athletic, especially for your size, you know what I'm saying? Best in transition probably. He can shoot the ball a little bit, you know. He's not a terrible jump shooter or anything like that, especially when he gets his feet set. But I mean, Cole Anthony, I don't really I can't, he's definitely not a franchise type of player, but he's
I don't
one
know
of the
where he's
biggest
gonna
question
fit.
marks in my opinion in this draft.
Yeah, me too, because when I look at him at North Carolina, he had to do so much. They didn't have any offensive guards besides Cole Anthony, so the ball was always in his hands. He had to take ill-advised shots, turn over the ball a lot, try to create plays, and he played a role that he really wasn't really used to, so without any help. So I think, yeah, his position, depending on what team and how he develops, I don't see Cole Anthony really being in the top 10, top 20. He might fall really low, man. But yeah, look out for Killian Hayes. He's really gonna be a good guard in this league. And my other international dude is Deni Avdija. He's a 6'8" wing, played overseas in the Euro League, and his comparisons to Hito Turkoglu and Luka. And his FIBA stats were 18 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Shot 42% from the field, 28% from the three. This is a guy that needs to play off the ball.
These overseas guys are really starting to, blow up.
He cuts, all that. He can bang inside. He has a very underrated post game. He has a lot of post move, good touch around the rim. He has great scoring potential, but his weakness is his lateral quickness on defense. Sometimes they put shifty guards on him. He can't guard him on top on the wing. Osman. Oh wait, no. Better than Cedi Osman? Yeah. I think he's better than Cedi Osman, most definitely. Because when I saw Cedi Osman play with
Kevin
LeBron,
Porter Jr., he comes off the bench for them, so I'm not.
I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about because when Cedi played with LeBron, he really didn't know his role. I think this kid would come in, especially with the ability of his off-ball play. I think he'll work way better than Cedi, and I think he's a better shooter than Cedi.
Okay, I think that's all that we got for you guys today. Once again, we appreciate you guys tuning in and locking in with us and everything. Before you click off this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like I said earlier, it helps with the YouTube algorithm and it allows our videos to get suggested and pushed more so we can gain a bigger following. But outside of that, make sure y'all also follow our Instagram, our TikTok, and our Facebook. I'm thinking about making us a Twitter, but if I make us a Twitter, you guys have to be interacted on that. I don't want to have to control all these social media accounts and nobody, is active and engaging in it.
Comment and engage with us. We love to talk basketball with you guys.
Right, like you guys do a really good job on Instagram with that, but yeah. But outside of that, it's your boy Nicey Chung and Benny. I'm here with my co-host Greg King, and we out.